When it comes to AH and volatility, apparently Johnny Depp was not the only person that AH liked to go at. Now, apparently amongst those aggrieved parties is AH's own sister. That's right, her own sister. See, last night we had new video evidence provided. The person that provided it, apparently they'll remain anonymous, but it was from a 2006-2007 TV show, and it showcases, well, let's just say volatility between AH and her sister. Quote, "We are now watching a video showcasing a group of women chatting and drinking juice by a swimming pool in the sun. In it, we hear one woman questioning AH's sister about AH, quote-unquote, beating her up. The woman says, 'I can't believe AH beat your A. I know you could beat her A.' AH's sister says, 'We're not going to talk about it.' The woman repeats, 'She really did whip your butt.' As Johnny Depp's lawyers point out, that's fascinating, considering AH herself said the only time that she ever did anything like that, number one, was towards Johnny Depp, and number two was when she was acting in self-defense. So let's go over that. Let's point the finger and laugh, knowing that everything is falling apart on the stand. So hey there. Now before we get started, this is our second comic. Link is in the description, and you'll love it, so check it out. Apparently, too, you're not supposed to know it's there because we're wrong thinkers. That's according to the comic media, but that's okay. We don't need them. We need you. So check it out, share, support, and thank you. So currently, Sky.com is covering the Johnny Depp versus the Sun libel trial live, and this is their current headline. Johnny Depp libel trial. Court shown unseen reality TV footage suggesting AH, what did she do to her sister? Oh, she assaulted her. Now, what's hilarious about this is that Sky News, they cannot hide what's going on. They will later on, possibly in an article, but right now, their live coverage, it reads like this. I can't believe AH beats your A. We are watching a video here showcasing a group of women chatting and drinking juice by a swimming pool in the sun. In it, we hear one woman questioning AH's sister about AH, quote-unquote, beating her up. It's suggested there's an altercation between the two sisters. The woman says, I can't believe AH beat your A. I know you could beat her A. Now, in the video, AH's sister says several times, I'm not talking about it, and the woman repeats, she really did whip your butt. Now, Johnny Depp's lawyer says in this, not only did AH physically assault her sister, but that the injuries suffered by AH's sister are being examined by the women in the video. There is no denial that AH beat up her sister, Whitney. He goes on, at one point, she visibly demonstrates her arm and her elbow to the women asking the question. He says they are examining the marks left from the alleged fight. Whitney also appears to point to her neck in the video, too. Now, what's fascinating about these statements we're going to look at is they fly directly in the face of what AH herself has been saying, and you can see this in her own transcripts. Miss Loss, the lawyer for Johnny Depp, asks point blank, were you saying before lunch that you have never used violence outside of the relationship with Mr. Depp? And AH says this is correct. Not only that, but when questioned about volatility directed toward Johnny Depp, she had said, so really, in the answer to my question, if you ever did throw anything or if you ever were violent, from what you've just said, it was always in self-defense. AH says to escape him, to escape. Now, AH's lawyers, they know that this is a problem too, and they do their best to make sure that no one will consider it. Quote, Miss Wass, again, that's AH's lawyer, says that this is some sort of reality TV and, quote, lighthearted and flippant, aka you shouldn't really consider it because you know what? You can't trust reality TV. She says it should not be taken into account. Fascinating. Now, Johnny Depp's teams, they don't argue the fact that this is from some reality TV show. In fact, his lawyer says that it's from a video from 2006 to 2007. It's indeed from some type of TV show, and he says it is rushes from footage that was never aired, and importantly in this, it was unscripted. He said it clearly shows that there was a physical altercation between the sisters, and he disagrees with what's being said in this, that the evidence is lighthearted, and he says given the importance of the issue over being volatile or not, he says that this is very important. And I would agree that it showcases the idea that everything she says, there's no truth to it. Now, if you thought that was interesting, well, things are just getting started because AH's sister, she has to take the witness box again. In that, AH's sister is shown the video. She's allowed to prep before this with AH's lawyers. Just a note, they had a 14-minute hiatus. But when they're showing it, you hear women asking AH's sister, Whitney, truth or dare, did you really start a fight with your sister or did she start it? For real. For real. Now, AH's sister says that they were discussing a verbal argument between her and AH, quote unquote, for a really bad reality TV show. And this is going to be the thing that they press. It's going to be verbal versus physical. She denies that it was a physical fight. She says that the show's producers were trying to make, quote, a really bad storyline better. She goes on, adding, they were trying to make a narrative that wasn't there, trying to make a really, really boring conversation more interesting. Now it brings up an interesting back and forth, and I think most of us thought this too. If you have a verbal argument, how do you end up with physical maladies? So Miss Law, she says one of the women is, quote unquote, holding on to your chin and looking at your injuries. So we can see them doing this. What's going on here? AH's sister says, that's not the case. They're not looking at physical injuries at all. Miss Laws then redirects that, asking why she didn't correct the women here and say, hey, this was just an argument. It wasn't a fight. AH's sister says, I did not want to discuss a dispute with AH on TV, noting, quote, I wanted to shut the conversation down. I had no interest talking about that on camera. Sure you didn't. You went on a reality TV show. You want to butter up conversation. I'm sure you expected stuff like this, but now you don't want it discussed. Now it leads to an argument about whether or not there are actual visible injuries showcased on the video. Miss Law says that there is a visible mark on AH's sister's chest. She's saying, I can see it right there. AH's sister says that's not true and that the lawyer is, quote unquote, looking for injuries that are not there. Now, what's fascinating about this is that we actually get a full transcript of this reality TV video. And I'm going to read you this entry, but I think it actually says more about who AH's sister is and what she's saying than anything. So, here's a full transcript of the quote-unquote really bad reality TV show we have just been shown in court. Depp's legal team says that this is evidence that AH's sister was lying yesterday when she told the court that her sister AH had never been violent toward her. So it starts off with indiscernible talking. Then a female comes in and says, did you get in a fight or something? Now, AH's sister, she's transcribed as saying, oh, aha, thank you. So female 2 comes in and says, an altercation, to which AH's sister says, got into an altercation. So she's agreeing that there was an altercation. That's usually a good sign that we're talking about a physical altercation, by the way. So female 1 says some indiscernible stuff, and then AH's sister says, already talked about it, won't talk about it anymore. So she's trying to deflect away from talking about this. And you have female 1 coming in saying, I can't believe AH beat your A. I know you could beat her A. So you have AH's sister again trying to deflect away from that, saying, we're not going to talk about it. Female 1 comes back in again and says to AH's sister, Whitney, truth or dare, did you really start the fight with your sister or did she start it? For real, for real, for real. I would love an answer there. Who started this too? AH's sister says we're not going to talk about it. Female 1 says she really did whoop your butt. Yeah, you got a little butt kicking on there. Again, AH's sister says, we're not going to talk about it. And female 1 says, yes, I'm done. I guess I'm done talking about it. And then there's some more indiscernible speech. Now, as to where this came from, speaking about a new video, Mr. Shearborn told the court, after AH's sister gave evidence yesterday, one of our team was contacted by an individual on the basis of being kept confidential. He added, we were contacted to explain that Miss AH had a history of violence and attacking people, and this video, which was attached, of her sister Whitney, was taken shortly after AH had attacked her, and Miss Whitney was filmed with people commenting on the bruises on her face and body. Now, as Johnny Depp's lawyer brings up too, it questions the reliability of AH's sister's evidence from the previous day, where she talks about the quote-unquote stairs incident, and she mentions this one-off thing where in March 2015 she supposedly witnessed this event where Johnny Depp was being a monster, and she's the only person that has ever made that type of claim. Credibility, it has to matter too. I mean, really think about this situation, because AH's sister is the only person to ever say, hey, I directly saw Johnny Depp do something to AH. Also in that, she had admitted that AH had punched Johnny Depp on that occasion, but she said, well, it's okay. She was doing it in my defense because AH believed Johnny Depp was going to push AH's sister down some stairs. Yeah, all of this, it seems to showcase who these people are. Every day, there's something being undone. So to close this sucker out, this is our second comic. It's in demand right now, meaning we're finalizing it. And while we are, you can pick it up. Link is in the description. We get no mainstream love, too, because despite our success, we talk about wonderful things like this. And you know, in this day and age, that makes you some kind of terrible bad guy wrong thinker. But that's okay. We'll be there, bad guys, because, you know, we don't need them. We need you. So thank you. Thank you for checking it out, spreading the word, and on. Also, let me end by saying this, and I sincerely mean it. You make these endeavors possible. Without you, none of these channels work. None of this other stuff works. So thank you. You showing up, it matters. Not enough people say that. So again, closing, thank you. I do appreciate you. And until next time, we'll see you soon.